Good afternoon, this is Nicholas from Gandora Gaming, and we have a brand new Labyrinth monster to discuss today. The third wave of support for Labyrinth. And if you don't know, Labyrinth is probably the strongest trap archetype we've had in a very long time, since Eldledge, which is a pretty big deal, because Eldledge was all the way back in 2020, and it's been a while since a new trap deck has been pretty good. Labyrinth is probably the third or fourth best deck right now, even though it didn't do so well national-wise. Or yeah, I think nationals wise, it did pretty well regional wise. Very powerful deck, very strong, and it's getting its third wave of support. We have a new main deck monster, and it's a level 6. It's a new main deck lady, which is pretty cool. It's not one of the big ladies, it's not one of the small ladies. It's a medium-sized lady. And let's go over her real quick. So, this is the third wave of support. So, this is usually where Konami gives archetypes a break, unless they really like them. Usually, when a new archetype comes out, they get 3 waves of support, and then they kind of just stop giving them support. For example, Punks, their first wave of support, well, first they got released, and then they got support in Dimension Force, and their final support came out in Power of the Elements, and they haven't gotten support since. Labyrinth, this is going to be their third wave of support. I don't expect them to get more support until later on, maybe a couple years from now, but as of right now, this is probably one of their last support, so it has to be really good. Especially if you want to keep them meta. Now, don't get me wrong, the deck will be meta even if this card's unplayable, but it will definitely help the strategy. Right now, Labyrinth is in a pretty good spot. There's 2 diverging paths to play the deck. There's very control-based Labyrinth where you play skill drains and all these like really nasty floodgates or powerful traps that completely ruin your opponent's day. Or the new version that's getting even more popularized once the new set comes out, which has to be Fiend or Control / mid-range Labyrinth. If you don't know, Labyrinth is actually a very, very powerful grind deck. And right now, we are getting new Unchained support. And that Unchained support actually makes Labyrinth a really, really powerful furniture build. Furniture build, if you don't know, is a deck that doesn't really play that many of the trap cards. It only plays like the normal traps, like the Labyrinth and Big Welcome Labyrinth. And it's very monster heavy. And the whole idea is that you play all these really powerful Fiend monsters and make this really, really powerful control / mid-range deck, which is very, very good. It doesn't lose to the same things that the other deck does, but it loses harder to other things. It's hard to really explain, but both have very different play styles, and both are really, really strong. The Labyrinth with the floodgates are always going to be strong because floodgates are floodgates, and Konami hasn't touched those in years, while the other one is getting support literally in a week. So it's going to be a lot stronger once those new Unchained cards come out. So let's see if this new main deck monster will make this strategy much better. So the new Labyrinth main deck monster is going by the name of Labyrinth Butler Amorous. Amorous, the Labyrinth Butler. It's a level 6 Dark Fiend effect monster. It is a 1500 attack, 2500 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card once per turn. During the main phase, your opponent's or yours, quick effect, send this card from your hand to graveyard from your hand. Either special summon 1 Labyrinth monster or set 1 normal trap. It can be activated this turn. So, right there, that's pretty solid. The fact that you can just set a normal trap is pretty solid. I don't know where it's setting it from. Is it setting it from deck or is it setting it from hand? I guess the idea is that it's just another card that lets you set the Labyrinth traps on your opponent's turn. So let's say they win a die roll, they get to go first. You can activate this trap to set the Labyrinth trap on your opponent's turn, and then if you have Cuckoo Clock, you can flip that trap on your opponent's turn 1, and you get a Labyrinth summon, which would be pretty solid. I don't know how good that is, but that seems pretty solid. So overall, already off to a good start. That's a pretty solid effect to set either 1 normal trap or special summon a Labyrinth from hand during your opponent's turn. That's a pretty interesting effect. The second effect is when your opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of a Labyrinth card or effect, except herself, of course, or if a normal trap or effect So basically, your opponent activates it's anything in response to either a normal trap or a Labyrinth effect. While this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. So it's like the Furnitures where it summons itself back, which is pretty cool. I don't know what the point of its summoning back is. It's only a 1500 level 6, which kind of sucks. But I don't know. This card seems interesting. I don't know how many you would play of it, but I can definitely see this card with a combination of a hand of like Cuckoo Clock, plus this card, plus Welcome Labyrinth. I can definitely see you plussing very hard, but I can also see you minusing really hard, especially if your opponent has Ash. Imagine you discard this card to set Welcome Labyrinth, and then you activate Cuckoo Clock, discarding it, so you can activate the Welcome Labyrinth, and then you activate the Welcome Labyrinth, and it gets ashed. And this is all on turn 1, so you just minus yourself by 3. That would be awful. I don't know how good this card is. Maybe it's amazing. You tell me in the comments. But to me, this card seems very mid. Definitely really cool as like another name for like a furniture card. It's basically a furniture card with a lady on it. But you'll have to tell me in the comments if this card breaks the deck or it's mid at best. Right now, I think it's mid, but I'm welcome to be proven wrong. Anyway, hope you all enjoy. Don't be anything stupid. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.